Hello and welcome back to Second Chapter. We have a crisis to resolve in Grand Cell, so let's get a move on. Also, I changed the party up a little bit. I replayed that last little bit we did. And this time we have Shara with us instead of Tita. Kind of felt like it was appropriate to have our 4 liberal bracers with us as we do this. No! Such twisted evil. Those bastards! Here they come. Alright, big Archasm fight to start off. Grand Cell's up in flames. So things have really hit the fan now. Also made sure to build up our CP and whatnot. Though, we still can't use arts with anyone except Shara. And really there is no other option at this point. So we've handed out those ZFGs to all the guild houses. Let's see here. Which one's gonna attack me? Oh, it's gonna be you. Lame. Ah! Didn't do quite as much as I was hoping, even with the AT bonus lined up. Alright, still. Hard break. Joshua going with a dual strike. Fortunately, we're gonna eat that self-explosion, though. Really cheap, huh? What are we even gonna do? The city! Everyone! Elnin! Your timing is perfect. You're here about the business the Queen had with you, yes? That was the idea. What's going on? The army is in position along the eastern and western blocks of the city as we speak. The fighting is terrible, but you need to leave it to them. You must give chase to the enforcers. They're heading for the castle. But, are you sure the city will be alright? I've evacuated the people on the street into the guild house. The army is evacuating the rest of the city. Okay, we'll head to the castle then. Thank you. Adios. Guide you and keep you safe. Before you go, take this. Thank you, Elnin. Good luck. I pray for your victory. That is helpful. In fact, we're going to use, not that, but let's use some tier bombs. Get our HP back up. They did do a number on us. Alright. So, this is again trails being very much trails. Okay, there are archaisms wandering around Grand Cell, but this series and its missable events. Ooh, this one's pretty bad. So you come in here to the guild house and I think all the way at the top floor. Here we go. This is the guy I need to talk to. Do you run the cafe? Hey, I came out here shopping, then suddenly I got told to evacuate. I thought this would be a good time to read a book and calm down. He really seems as calm as you can get, to be honest. Oh, why, I know that series. Is that Gambler Jack, the series popular in the harbor area that I've heard so much about, perhaps? These novels? Yes, that's right. It's a drama about a gambler with a curious fate set in the Republic. I've been wanting to read it for a long time. Oh, yeah? I do owe him a bit. Alright, here you go. It's all yours, sir. Oh, that isn't why I mentioned it. Don't worry about it. It's thanks for the great curry and coffee before. That's very kind of you. I'd be happy to take them. You have my thanks. I'll start reading right away to calm myself. Oh, and as a token from my side, allow me to offer you this. A frickin' Zemurian ore. Where did he even get this? This is... When I was still a diplomat, I picked this up in Arteria. You were a diplomat in Arteria? Why don't I remember reading this? Arteria? That's where the headquarters of the Sethian Church is, isn't it? Yes, that's right. In the distant past, back during the Zemurian era, things were made with this metal, apparently. The Zemurian era? It must be incredibly old. Certainly, I've never seen this alloy. I don't know how true it is. Incidentally, apparently the techniques to mold that metal have long been lost. Huh. Thinking about it, that makes it pretty incredible. I believe we traded books with you for a weapon before as well. Whoa, it even remembers that from our carryover? Yeah, this is the same guy who gave me Estelle's ultimate weapon in my last playthrough. I remember. This isn't anything that incredible, this time, but perhaps it'll be a good luck charm for you. Yeah, thanks. That is nuts. I can't believe it remembers that. Okay. So the Zemurian ore is the item you need to make the strongest weapon in the game. We'll worry about that much later, though. Did you enjoy the Gambler Jack books? I hope you did. I don't know. I haven't read them yet. That's future me who read that to you. Hopefully it was very entertaining and worth it. Okay, let's create a save file here. I don't think there's anything else I can miss. Oh boy, this is an episode I've been looking forward to quite a bit. Aw, the gates are closed. Given the age of the entrance, I would imagine it can be opened manually. That would prove difficult, however. Yes, it'll take quite a bit of pushing. Ooh, it's time to call in Potter Mater, isn't it? Hey now, you call that thing in, you won't leave anything for the rest of us to do. You all just leave this to me. Leave it to you? Just watch. Alright, time for the anime to happen. Oh! Wow, that was great, Walter. Ah, yes. One of the Taito style's greatest techniques. Oh, impressive as always, my friend. That shit's really only good for street performances. Now, one more to go through. To think they'd breached the castle gates. Oh, they won't hold much longer. Claudia, Hilda, hurry and get Alicia to her private chambers. But, Uncle... Dunnan, are you... I am a scion of the von Osleys family. I will not stand quietly and watch as brigands try to tear our land and authority to pieces. With Julia absent, I shall take command. But... stop wasting time. Their goal is to abduct the queen and her heir. Her heir being you, remember. Uncle, your priority must be to the safety of yourself and the queen. This is what it means to be heir, Claudia. Fulfill your duty. Uncle, I understand. Grandmother, Hilda, come, we need to get up to the chambers. Yes, it would be best. Dunnan, please be careful. Just you watch as I cast these cursed bandits from the walls. I pray for your victory. Philip, you be careful too. I will do my best, Mr. Silda. I am deeply impressed, your lordship. I never have been happier to serve you than at this moment. There's no need to make such a show of it, Philip. Here they are! Such ghastly appearances, rather more like demons than men. Your lordship, should I fall, do not hesitate to flee. What? But... Yeah, Philip's been a huge badass this entire time. Sir Philip! Oh, it's the old man with closed eyes. Who the hell is this old lump? I am Philip Runall, butler to His Royal Highness Dunnan von Osleys, and former captain of the Royal Guard. This dude used to have Julia's job. This blade I once held in days long past. I do not know how far it will carry me, but it shall now cross with yours. Oh. Ever is this country full of surprises. Let's see how skilled you are then. Alright, let's get a move on. That's a really, really cool reveal. What in the... No large impact points. I think this was broken with someone's hand. This looks like Walter's handiwork. Adios. Well, I'm nice and properly terrified now. He really is freakishly strong. Wait, what are we standing around being impressed for? We need to catch up to... Estelle, watch out! I like how their shadows just appeared there. More pale Apaches. Oh, come on! Why here? Take him down. I think these bastards also explode upon death. Well, I have a crit on Joshua to start off with. How fortunate. That did not do a whole lot. I'm not sure how many more fights we have to do after this. So I'm kind of being conservative with my CP for the moment. Alright, Agate. Gotta get something here. Then we'll let Shara do some arts. So you guys have any particular weaknesses? No, not really. In that case... No, that didn't do too much. Dealt with the little ones, though. That's helpful. Called allies. Keep bringing in ads. How annoying. HP heal. That sucks. How about we go with a fire art this time? Oh, I can't get everything though. We'll just settle with this. Alright, it's preparing something here. I'm not close enough to morale. No. Way too far away. Let's just go with another hurricane, I guess. Thankfully, we were far enough away to where that didn't hurt. Oh, but that put Joshua in the line of fire. I didn't think that was going to happen. Shara and Agate got additional experience out of that. Levels are finally catching up. Once we get to the final chapter, we'll play normally. Does this ever end? There's no time. Let's get inside. I'm not sure how many more fights there are, if any. I can't remember. But, just to be safe, I'm gonna heal. Alright, let's go. No! No! Not even the Royal Guard can stop him, huh? Miss Estelle. No, Philip! Who cares about Dunnan, though? Philip! And even Dunnan! Did you try and stop them? To my shame, I could not. I suppose age has caught up to me. I could not hold them for long. Is the Duke... Don't worry. I think he was just knocked away or something. That is a relief. Her Majesty has retreated to the royal chambers. Please, hurry. Philip! He's just unconscious. Let's hurry. Chloe is in danger. Right. So these are the Queen's chambers. Our destination, then. This sucks. The only one who didn't just fall over was the old-timer. Yes, he was quite an expert. He was still silly, though. There was no way he could beat all of us. Stupid old man. Come now, don't say that. He proved his worth through his loyalty. Few men can claim as much. And I admit, Duke Dunnan was a little different than rumor led me to believe. True, he did not seem like the absolute debauchee from the reports. I was still amused by how quickly he passed out, of course. They're here! Damn it all, if only Captain Shores was here. Stop sniveling, we are the Royal Guard. Show them what that means. More small fry. This is getting rather tedious. Told you. Ooh, I know. To make it fun, let's see who can capture the Queen first. Oh, an interesting sport. I'm game. Well then, let's play. Jesus Christ. Got a hot knife through butter. Alright, we need to get a move on. I'm going the wrong way. Let's head upstairs. Get up to the Queen's chambers. Things aren't going too well. Castle's on fire. Grand cells burning to the ground. Making it look rather easy, too. It's one of the strongest nations on the continent just getting wiped off by like not even a third of Ouroboros' might. Oh, it seems you have more guests, Queen Alicia. Chloe, Queen Alicia, Estelle, Joshua, everyone, thank you for coming. Damn it. We're too late. You sons of... What do you think you're doing? Let go of Chloe and Her Majesty. Sorry, but no. The professor asked us to do this as a personal favor, so no can do. The professor? Wait, a personal... So this has nothing to do with the gospel plan then? Nope, don't think so. He said he wanted to slow you down a little since you were doing more than we thought you would. Oh, I'm so very sorry for trying to reverse all the damage you guys are doing and being a decent human being then. Yeah, well, it's a pain. You restored the guild phones, right? The professor wasn't a fan of that. He said he wanted to see you kids floundering around a bit more. What? He had you attack Rancel for that? That's very like him. It is in fairly bad taste, I'll admit. However, Louvet is securing the floating city on his own. We had a little better to do, so we did the professor a favor. Lucy, why? I believe we understand now, given that I am not enough of a prize by myself. Can I ask you to release Princess Claudia? Grandmother, no! I'm the one who should... It is true that the good professor asks for one or the other. My, what a quandary we have on our hands. Were you looking to take the princess anyway? Well, a pet bird in a cage somehow lacks charm. It may also be nice to see her in elegance shining even through captivity, but... You don't even start with that. You're really out of your minds if you think we'll let you do that. Don't make me laugh. Even if we didn't have hostages, are you seriously gonna take all of us on? That's right. I promised to heal you all the next time we met. You know what? This is a good chance. Maybe I should just gut you all right here. Stay calm, Estelle. They're right. There's no way we can fight all of them at once by ourselves. We need to wait for our chance. But... alas, Joshua, it is fruitless. Perhaps had you been in the shadows, you could have found an opening. But as it stands, out in the open like this, your options are limited. There's little you can do, Black Fang. So it seems. It also seems like I'm not the one who needs to strike that opening. What? Sid. What? Hello, everyone. Good work. Your Majesty, Your Highness, forgive my tardiness. Sid! Thank you for coming. One of the Divine Blade's lieutenants. That wasn't too bad. Just a bit more and you really would have had us. Yes, I'll admit I was surprised. I didn't expect you to be able to turn away such a blow so easily. Alright, this is turning into my kind of party. So you want to play too? I'll pass for the moment. Really, I'm just bait anyway. What? Sieg! It's Richard. Good, I made it in time. What? Waiter! Oh my! Richard? Colonel Richard? Hello, Miss Bright. You shouldn't call me Colonel, however. I have been stripped of my rank and am little more than a criminal performing his penal service. Boy, that sure explains every question I'd have about this. Don't call me Colonel, okay? Colonel... Mr. Richard, it's been some time. I am glad to see you and the princess are well, Your Majesty. I believe General Bright has already briefed you on my circumstances. So please, allow me to shield you from these criminals. By all means. Thank you very much, Mr. Richard. The pleasure is mine. I so don't even know what's going on anymore. I think it's safe to say this story is bigger than we are, as it were. A pair of the Divine Blade students, our wayward Black Fang, and a group of better-than-average bracers. I think we may have tarried for too long. I appreciate the time, personally. Incidentally, we've already handled things in the city. Huh? Commence Operation Clean Sweep. Remember, our first priority is the safety of the citizenry. Assist the army where possible. Engage Jaeger corps and archaisms at your discretion. Yes, ma'am. Holy, just when I thought this couldn't get any crazier. When did the special ops guys show up? And they're going after the society's goons too. Maybe this is heavy penance for awful deeds and stuff. Or maybe they're trying to remind everyone how awesome they are. Who the hell would... They're trying to clear their name, Dorothy. Ah, the hell with it. Dorothy, make with the camera. Shoot and shoot until we can't stop filming there anymore. Aye, aye, sir. How's your camera working? They find like an old camera that's prior to orbital technology? Whoa, the Jaegers are being pushed back. Very impressive. Haven't lost their touch, I see. Now then, servants of Ouroboros, what do you intend? You seem quite eager of a fight. Are we still desirous of violence? You really think you're funny? If it's gonna be like this, I am gonna call Potter Stop, Red. Our chances already slipped by. Trying to force the issue now would only end in an ugly fashion. The capture of the royals was ultimately an optional objective. Come, let us pull back. Well, if we gotta. Ladies and gentlemen, if you will pardon us, it should be just about time for your next trial, however. I suggest you keep your wits about you. Next trial. What do you want about now? You'll see soon enough. Good day then, everyone. Oh, they've retreated. The Jaegers should pull out of the city as well. A shame we cannot pursue them, but I suppose we can't be selfish. Yeah, wait, way more importantly, so just what the heck is Colonel Richard doing here? I thought you were in prison for being a seriously grievous crime of being a huge jerk. I said I'm not well, regardless. Before any of that, we have to secure the city. Would you help us? Well, sure, of course. We'll help tend to the wounded and with the firefighting. And so, with great difficulty, the Society's invasion of Grand Cell was repelled. A Cells group ran around the city, fighting fires and helping the confused citizenry. Eventually, the rest of the team arrived, having been contacted by Elnan. 382, that's the maximum score for this game. We are now an A-rank bracer, which you shouldn't pay attention too much to because it's kind of BS in universe, because it's like technically Estelle is now like a better bracer than like Shara and Agate. It's kind of goofy. Like, she's still probably 16. Maybe she's turned 17 at this point. The timeline of second chapter is a little fuzzy. As I mentioned previously, I'm here on General Bright's orders. He had a suspicion that Ouroboros might try something like this. However, most regular army troops aren't very well trained to fight without their horrible firearms. so he decided to use a handful of troops with experience in hand-to-hand combat. Of course, he needed an excuse to get me and my subordinates involved, seeing as we were supposed to be in prison. As a result, we were to be transported to Grand Cell, where we conveniently ended up caught up in the chaos and repelled the attack. Okay. That's about as subtle as a prick to the forehead, Dad. I take it you had some idea about this, Your Majesty? Yes, Cassius and I discussed the idea earlier. We will, I suspect, face some criticism for doing this, but the safety of the citizenry must come before everything else. And I knew, from the bottom of my heart, that Mr. Richard would do what was best for the country he loves so. I do not deserve such praise, Your Majesty. I get it. So then... Oh, right. Does this have to do with the reason you wanted to see us? In part, yes. What I wanted to discuss was what Claudia has done. Huh? What Chloe's done? Yes. It was a short ceremony, but as of this morning, I've been formally invested with the inheritance. I am now officially the Crown Princess of Liberl, next in line to be the Queen. Whoa! Wow! Congratulations. I think you made a good decision. I really think some of it is simply selfishness on my part. Estelle, everyone, I understand you're the ones who saved everyone at the Academy. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah. We can't really take all the credit, though. Annalise's group was there, and Sieg helped too. Sree! Yes, so I gathered. When I learned about what happened, I spent a lot of time thinking about what I could do. What role I could serve to help protect those dear to me. And that's inheriting the throne? Yes. I'm an inexperienced teenager who lacks the ability or confidence to lead an entire kingdom. Still, if I can use such a position to protect those dear to me, and if that in turn helps me to protect the home I love, then it is all worth it. Chloe, you silly. Well, congratulations. Looks like you finally found that path you were looking for, huh? Estelle, thank you. I really am desperately new at this, though, and I am not quite sure what I can do. Will you lend me your aid when I need it? What kind of question is that? Duh. I mean, heck, I'm not exactly a grizzled veteran over here, you know. Just as you've lent us your aid, time and again, whenever you need us, we'll be there for you. Estelle, Joshua, thank you. Thank you so much. What a complete and utter fool I've been. All the things I did without realizing the potential of the young people who are carrying our future. Alan. What's this, Alan? You'll be carrying a good deal of future yourself still, I think. Quite so. You jest, Your Majesty. Colonel, I have a report. What is it? Is the city under attack again? No, sir. Everything is quiet here. The Jaegers withdrew rapidly from the city and faded back out into the countryside. Then what is it, man? Speak up. We've received a report from Hawkingate. An Erebonian army is gathering at the border. What? So they've come at last. How large an army are they fielding? So far, it appears to only be a single standard division. But they have tanks with them. What? Now, just a damn second. How the hell are they running tanks in the middle of all this? Are they using the same technology as the society? I thought they might. No, it's strange. They don't appear to be using orbits at all. The scout reports say they run using steam engines. Steam what now? It's an engine that uses steam to move the pistons. It's even more primitive than a gasoline engine. Everyone stopped using them as soon as orbits were invented. No sane army would bother keeping such museum pieces maintained. They're a joke compared to even the most basic orbital tank. Which can only mean one thing. They prepared these in secret. Hang on, you mean... It means the Erebonian leadership knew this was going to happen. So, the next trial Ouroboros spoke of. Yes, it must be this. Now, they're effectively holding Grand Cell hostage. They can storm in and take the capital again whenever they please. It's one way of sending a message, I suppose. There's another problem. I suspect Dad was keeping you as an ace in the hole. A special joker card he could play. Someone he could dispatch anywhere an emergency occurred where he couldn't be. But now he's played that card, and you'll have to remain here. Blast it. Ouroboros certainly plays a hard game. Grandmother, allow me to go to Hawken Gate. Say what? Chloe, I couldn't bear sending Uncle. He risked his life once already for our sakes. Let me go. I will negotiate with the Erebonians as your agent. Very well. Though we may have signed a non-aggression pact with them, remember that the scales on which Ereboni and liberal balance are still unstable. These events could spiral into chaos that would engulf the continent. I am counting on you to balance those scales. I will. A sales group briefly shared a look. So, in that case, mind if we go with you? I'm sorry? We shall see the heiress to Hawken Gate safely. And if things get really crazy and turn into a shooting war, we'll do what we can to help. Now mind, we can't actually help you with the shooting war, as per guild protocol. But there's a few things we could do from a neutral position, I think. Everyone, I couldn't ask for more. Thank you. Please keep her safe. Yes, Your Majesty. Leave everything to us. Estelle, Joshua, on that note, I and my men will keep an eye on any movements the Society may try to make. Even if they attempt to assault us with that massive puppet of theirs, we will be ready to respond. Guys, we'll be counting on you. And so Estelle's group took to the road toward Hawken Gate while escorting Chloe. Passing through Gurren Gate, they moved through Rolent as quickly as possible, and soon arrived at Hawken Gate. The Imperial military is at Liberal's front door. A lot of heavy implications with this. And goodness, have I waited for this scene all playthrough. Those are steam-powered Erebonian tanks. There's Morgan. Explain yourself, General Vander. Why is a division of the Imperial Army on our literal doorsteps? Does the Empire truly forget the pact it signed so quickly? General Morgan, I'm the one who would like an explanation. What are you? For the past 24 hours or more, ornaments all across the southern marches of His Majesty's domain have ceased function. That's ridiculous. It should be way more than 24 hours. There's no way our group traveled the entire kingdom once over in 24 hours. It's ridiculous. It should be like at least a week and a half or so. And at the exact same time, it seems a massive, heretofore unknown structure appeared above your Valeria Lake. Now I ask you, Morgan, what is going on? It is just as you say. We are as confused as anyone else about the situation. So it would seem. But your situation is, as I said, affecting a large swath of Imperial territory. Given that, you know full well why I'm here, General. Here to try and raise the stallion above us while we're weak, then. We intend nothing of the sort. We are given to understanding that a criminal organization of some sort has been taking advantage of this situation. All we wish is to see if we can be of aid to his allies, whom we have signed a non-aggression pact with. Those are the orders I received from the Imperial government. Nonsense! What are those tanks doing here, then? I've never heard of a tank that runs on steam and combustion until now. How is it that you suddenly have these tanks which conveniently require no orbital power? That is a military secret. I would think you would welcome us, though, Morgan. These vehicles are perfectly suited for helping to keep the peace. And Liberal, that is, while this crisis runs its course. You understand my meaning, yes? We deeply appreciate your thoughtfulness. What? Yes, look at this frickin' attire she's wearing. This is the debut of this outfit. It's so good. Holy shit. Impossible. Your Highness, what are you? Yeah, get a good look at it. Morgan, well done. Please, leave the rest of this to me. But, Your Highness... And what are they doing here? We are the royal bodyguards, sorta, temporarily. Should the worst happen, we'll protect Chloe. Claudia, we swear. I may be inexperienced as a negotiator. This is, however, The proper time for me to step forward and assume my duties as heir. Morgan, please. As you wish, Your Highness. Just keep in mind who you are going out there to parley with, my princess. If anything happens, be ready to run for the gate. I understand. It seems I will be trading words with someone else now, I'm afraid I don't recognize you, though your bearing is quite noble. This is the first time we have met, sir. I am Claudia von Osles, Princess of Liberl, granddaughter to the Queen, and newly invested heir to the throne. Oh, forgive my impertinence, Your Highness. I am Zex Vander, Your Highness. This dude is Mueller's uncle. Lieutenant General of the 3rd Armored Division of the Imperial Army. Yes, word of your accomplishments in battle has reached even us, General Vander. Hey, is that guy famous? Yes, that's One-Eyed Zex. He's one of the best field commanders Erebonia has. If I may be so bold, Your Highness, I have actually seen pictures of you before. Have you cut your hair recently? Now that I look, your face is familiar, but... this is a bit embarrassing. I, cut it for the investiture ceremony. Consider it a little girl's way of showing her resolve to take up a burden too heavy for her. Hardly, Princess Claudia. It looks very good on you, if I may be forward. Allow this servant of Erebonia to congratulate you on becoming the heir to your throne. Thank you, General. Well then, what brings the Princess of Liberl here? Are you here to raise protests against us like my good colleague Morgan? No, that is not my intent. I am sure that our neighbors in Erebonia must be terrified at the moment. The darkness at night, the cold, the complete shutdown of communications. Believe me, I know how any one of these could inspire terror in people. What I ask of you is to consider your actions. Consider what would happen if your forces were to enter our country. You say that large portions of the Empire are disordered at the moment. I assure you, in every part of Liberl, it is worse. And while we no longer bear Erebonia ill will, many of our citizens are agitated and afraid. I could not bear if the good intentions of our allies were misunderstood. But... As you can see, we are investigating these strange events as quickly as we are able. Furthermore, we have managed to suppress most of the activities of the aforementioned criminal group on our own. And so I ask, for the sake of continued friendship between Erebonia and Liberl, a relationship we value highly, give us a little more time, General. We will make this right. Pretty words, but they are, alas, sound and fury, signifying nothing. Your Highness! I shall take the reins. You are relieved, General. As you wish, Your Highness. What? He can't be. You've got to be shitting me. I believe this is our first formal acquaintance, Princess Claudia. I am Oliver Rice Arner, a son of His Majesty, Emperor Eugen III. What? One of the sons of... He's an Imperial Prince? Shara, did you know about this? You're kidding, right? I thought he was just some sort of agent for Imperial intelligence. Oliver Rice Arner. I recognize the name, but I don't know the man. Even though I am a prince, I am little more than a royal bastard. I rarely attend to public matters of state, so I am unsurprised you do not know my face. It does still sting a little, though, I fear. For the lovely girl who was once to be my bride to not even know my face, an arrow, my heart. What? There are no other words. I see. That's what Colonel Richard had in mind a while back. I am sorry, I was unaware. So yes, remember when the coup d'etat was happening? Richard and the Duke had arranged for Chloe to be married off to a member of a, neighboring nation's royal family. It would just so happen that would be the firstborn son of the imperial family in Erebonia. Allow me to apologize for this slight against you. Well, I do understand it was conducted without the Queen's consent. That sort of slight we cannot overlook. But this... No, Erebonia cannot overlook this. My enchanting princess, are you aware, I wonder, of a little rumor making its round across our great empire? I don't believe I am. Allow me to tell you then. Rumor has it that immense structure in the distance is Liberal's new weapon. What? Liberal has developed a groundbreaking new weapon that allows them to stop orbital energy. They intend to use it to make us pay for the war 10 years ago. It is a rumor which finds fertile ground in the ears of our citizens and leadership. It can't be. That's absolutely untrue. We would never. Then can you prove it, yes? Prove that it is a misunderstanding? If you cannot, then we must act upon the evidence of our senses. Indeed, if the rumors are true, this is a monstrous betrayal of all civilization, using the pact to hide your intentions. What choice would we have, then, but to be defenders of the free world? Okay, what in the hell is this, Olivier? Estelle? Estelle? I can't just stand here listening to you blather on as you please. Olivier, you know damn well what's going on here. Why are you being such a jerk? Estelle, wait. Have we met? You seem to know me, even if you did not quite get the name right. Did we meet at a party once? Huh? No. You lack the refinement of nobility. Yes, no matter how I look at you, you must be nothing more than a commoner. So, who are you? Okay, fine then. You want to play dumb no matter what? You aren't the only one who can bust out a surprise. Oh? My name is Estelle Bright. I'm a bona fide A-rank bracer of the Bracer Guild of Liberal. In accordance with the laws of the guild, I'm involving myself in this dispute as a neutral arbitrator. Estelle? Oh, an A-rank bracer? Not a whit less than I expected. Huh? Ah, pardon me. From what I understand, A-rank bracers are among the most capable bracers alive. You will forgive me, but I find it a little difficult to believe that a young girl such as yourself could hold that rank. Then you're welcome to inquire with the guild headquarters in Le Mans to confirm it. I think you'd have to halt negotiations while you check though, right? And with no working phones, for how many Selge? What a pain that'll be. Very well. So what do you intend to do about our little situation, neutral arbitrator? From the evidence, I judge that Erebonia's claim is false. The floating city is not a Liberalian weapon. I swear it on the honor of the Bracer Guild's supporting gauntlet. Oh, on the honor of the guild's emblem itself. A bold statement. Certainly, a statement from the Bracer Guild holds enough weight that it cannot be ignored outright. However, I shall pose the same question to you then, Miss Bright. What is your evidence of this claim? Evidence? What we've seen for ourselves. The group which made the floating city appear as the Criminal Society of Ouroboros, which is still operating in Liberal. We of the guild have been cooperating with the Royal Army to try and put a stop to the Society's operations. Heck, if you like, we can have records of everything forwarded to the Imperial government. That would certainly satisfy our need for evidence against Liberal's possible malfeasance. However, you have, I think, missed a key point, Miss Bright. Huh? Assuming then that the perpetrators are this Society of Ouroboros, are Liberal and the guild capable of putting a stop to this crisis? Well, If you do not, then the Empire will not sit here wringing its hands. The weaponry we have brought, including the cannons of our tanks, all use gunpowder. Would that not be perfect for laying siege to and destroying this little rogue city of yours? You've got to be joking! What'll cannons do against something that big? You never know until you try, Miss Bright. Regardless, I can say one thing for sure. You do not have the ability to put a stop to our goodwill, or our need to defend ourselves. Well then, Prince Olivert, would action satisfy? If we can prove that we can, even in these circumstances, do something about that city, would you give us the time to do so? Well, I suppose that for some time, at least, civility would force our hand, My prince! Calm down, General. Consider it the bare minimum of courtesy to a minor power we have a pact with. This assumes they can even prove anything. As you wish. So then, if you can show me you have some hope of stopping all this, our forces will withdraw. On the crest of the Golden Stallion and my name as a member of the Honor family, I swear it. Good, that came through loud and clear. What? That voice! Is that? Yes, no doubt about it. Now you're really kidding me. Dad. It's the Arcel! This is our proof, men of Arabonia. Feel free to feast your eyes upon it. Dad! Cassius Bright! It's been a while, Zex. They finally gave you a second star, I see. That's besides the point. Why are you here? And what is that ship? How is it capable of flying? That, unfortunately, is a national secret. Rather like those steam tanks of yours, I would say. So this is the Arcel, is it? And you must be the famed Cassius Bright. I believe this is the first time we have had an audience, Your Highness. Strange, though. I feel as if we've met somewhere before. How curious, General Bright. I was just thinking the same thing. How very curious. Isn't it, though? My prince! Miss Bright, Princess Claudia. I'm a proud member of the Arabonian Imperial family. I will keep my word. General, have all our forces withdraw from this area immediately. Olivier, you have our gratitude, Prince Oliver. Still, though, my dear citizens will doubtlessly not be satisfied with mere possibility being presented to them. Perhaps I could board the Arcel and observe for myself. Prince Olivert! A good idea. I'm sure everyone in the Imperial government would be satisfied with the Prince as a witness. Princess Claudia, shall we? Of course, I see no reason to object. I am sure this will only further strengthen the bond of friendship between Arabonia and Liberal. Welcome aboard, Prince Oliver. Prince Olivert, what have you done? You finally stride onto the public stage for the first time in ages, and you engage in this charade? I suppose we were too transparent at the end, Transparent like air. To think that a prince of the Empire would plan something like this in Liberal. Mueller, how could you let this happen? Forgive me, Uncle. But do you really think this idiot would listen even if I asked him to stop? Well, besides, there are elements of this which do not sit easily on my conscience. I learned all about the truth behind Hamel during this mess. So you did know. How could he not know? Even back then, he was a critical part of the military chain of command. My Seamus. No, Zex, I do not blame you. It was a subsection of the Warhawks. I know you had nothing to do with it. A scandal so vile that information about it had to be tightly controlled. I do not agree with the logic, but I understand it. Seal up that which stinks and bury it forever. Those who rule remain in power, unblemished. However, I cannot allow the same trick to be played twice. Prince! Zex, you realize it yourself, I'm sure. The incredibly fortuitous addition of these steam tanks to our arsenal. The convenient orders to sortie. Every bit of it has the fingerprints of the blood and iron Chancellor himself, Gileath Osborne. He's in contact with Ouroboros. I no longer doubt it. And personally, I find the idea of a Chancellor whose first loyalty is not to the Empire rather repugnant. Don't you? My prince, you can't possibly. But I do indeed. The former military man who has become the Empire's central politician after rising to prominence 10 years ago. The cold-blooded yet bold reformer who laid rails throughout the Empire and has annexed many of our neighbors through force of arms. I have decided to slay the beloved monster which has made its nest in our empire. You may call all of this my declaration of war. Unbelievable. My prince, do you even realize what you are attempting to accomplish? I like to tell myself I do, at least. He is not only politically strong, but he has a de facto control of easily 7/10 of the military. Putting aside neutral people like yourself, all who stand against him are the nation's feudal lords, and their influence weakens by the day. Worse still, my father's trust in him is nearly absolute. The very picture of a monster, I would say. Then why even? Is it not obvious? Because the way he acts is not beautiful. What? My eyes were opened as I traveled in the world. People and countries are at their greatest when they are proud of themselves. And I wish for my people, my fatherland, to feel the same pride. To be proud of accomplishments, not conquests. I hope you can understand, Zex. My prince, you've become quite a man. As they say, only an unwatched pot will boil. It's been 7 years since you took me under your wing to teach me what you knew, Zex. I simply learned to apply what you taught when you weren't looking. Indeed. Very well, I will pull my forces back. I must remind you, however, that the 3rd Division was merely the vanguard. Osborne is mustering another 10 divisions in the capital. 3 days, and then they march. That's your deadline. Yes, we'll act with all haste, Zex. Mueller, you're going with Prince Olivert, I take it. If things go poorly, bring him back. Even if you have to drag him back by his collar. I imagine I'll have to do so either way. Men, fall out! We withdraw to Parm. There, we will await new orders. Yes, sir. And so we managed to buy ourselves a little bit of time at least. Really though, no one trusts me it seems. My lamentations truly are ceaseless. Of course they don't, you nitwit. Even I didn't think you had something like this in you. As they say, if you're going to play your cards, throw in all your chips. Besides, you certainly did a good job in arranging all the pieces. You could say we are partners in crime, confederates of love, bees of a flower, who have shared of the sweetest honey. I am armed, Olivert. Olivier! Estelle, brilliantly done. Brilliantly done my entire butt. Would you please explain what in the hell is going on? Why, it's exactly as it looks. There was something rotten in the state of Arabonia. I simply dragged it up onto the stage. The stage? And the rest of us couldn't get a peek at the script? As they truly say, if you wish to deceive your foes, deceive your friends. Having the Arcel show up after you negotiate us into a corner. That was the plan Cassius Bright and I came up with. Dad and Olivier... I should have known. Once Dad showed up, I thought that might be it. That was the idea, at least. And here comes deceitful jerk number 2. That's a little cruel, don't you think? I was listening in by phone. You handled those negotiations expertly. Thanks to you, the arrival of the Arcel had all the impact it needed. Listening in by... what? Of course, that artifact of yours. My dear Shara, no more of that, please. It would be a little problematic if he heard about... Little too late on that score, Prince. So remember, Olivier had an artifact in first chapter. Remember, after, I think, chapter 1, that is, when he and Shara are flying to Relent, he's communicating with Mueller, we know now. And, she's like, how are you doing that? And then we heard him talking to Mueller again when, in this game, when we were flying and a cell dropped in on him. It's like, how is he doing that? How could he... It's like a cell phone. Where does that technology come from? The answer is, it's an artifact, and Olivert's at it with him the entire time. Kevin! Kevin's here too! And Julia as well. Your Highness, I heard about the attack on the capital. I'm very glad to see you are safe. I'm sorry, Julia. I can only imagine how worried you must have been. Well, part of it's my fault. If I had finished the Arcel's upgrades, we could have come by to help ourselves. Unfortunately, Zero Field reinforcing the most advanced ship in the world took a while, if you can believe it. Still, glad to see everyone safe. Yeah, hang on. How is the Arcel flying? You made a Zero Field generator big enough for the entire ship? Yes, indeed. The ones I gave you were prototypes I'd whipped up to help design a large-scale version. I've been locked up in the Arcel ever since you left, and now it's finally ready. I see. So in other words, every last bit of this was set up by Dad. Come now, don't say it like I'm a criminal. I simply did what I could to make it easy for you to act. You did this because you wanted to, yes? Well, technically, I guess, but... Oh, I don't quite get why you're here, though, Kevin. Right. Well, I was at the cathedral. Word came in from the Grossritter higher-ups. They've been hitting the books. I think I've got a good picture on what kind of thing the Oriole is, and how to end this mess. And once I told Cassius about this, I got hogtied and brought out here. Whoa, what? What the Oriole is? Yeah, so... First of all, the Oriole isn't that floating city itself, really. We think it's an artifact within the city that provides the whole thing with orbital power and helps control the flow of it. The Gospels are basically like distribution thingies for it. An ancient power source for a city. But then, why is it causing all our orbits to shut down? Now we're getting into guesswork, but a couple of really old legends talk about the Oriole striking down threats to the Chosen, meaning our modern orbits are being seen by it as threats to the Chosen, disabling any possible threat in its area of influence. It's a defense mechanism, essentially. It seems extremely likely, and really, this gives us a ray of hope. Doing something about the entire city would be difficult at best, due to its sheer size. But if we can find the actual Oriole somewhere within the city, we may be able to find a way to deal with it. I see. That is an idea. That does sound like a plan, at least. Yes, it seems as though our final goal is well set for us. We should board the Arcel and make our way to the flying city with all haste. The decision to use the Arcel must come from the royal family. Princess, shall we? You don't need to ask. Captain Shores, prepare the Arcel for launch. We are heading for the flying city above Valeria Lake. At once, Your Highness. And my bracer friends. Please, everyone, lend your aid to little Pearl in our hour of need. This mission will likely be the last of this crisis. Well, saying that like it's even a question if we'll go. This is something we should leave up to our leader. Leader? Estelle. We mean you, of course. What? Why so shocked, Estelle? We all do have our own stake in this, yes. But one way or another, we've just been tagging along on this wild ride of yours. So, in that sense, Estelle, you're definitely our leader. Still not quite ready for it. No, she is. No matter how grim it gets, Estelle never loses hope. That light is always there to guide me, to guide us. That's why only Estelle could ever be our leader. Joshua, not helping. Estelle, your face is red as a beet. Cute. Okay, I get it. Chloe, the guild accepts your mission. We'll find the Oriole on the flying city and save La Pearl. Thank you. Good, that's finally settled. Now I can get back to headquarters. Dad, you're not coming with us? I'm afraid I can't. They may have retreated for now, and I trust Zex to keep his word. But we can't ignore the large Erebonian threat. It's not just Hawken Gate. They could use non-orbital powered vessels to invade by sea. I also wouldn't be surprised if the Society attempts another raid on Grancel. I can't leave the Royal Army with all this going on. Yeah, I get it. I'll do my best. With Joshua, with everyone. So Dad, try not to kill yourself with work, okay? It will be a struggle, but don't worry. And Joshua, let me give this to you. Cassius handed a letter to Joshua. A letter? Call it a father's heart. It's between men, so it might be a little shocking for Estelle. A gentle reminder that I'm right here and still have my staff. I'll read it when I have time, Dad. Please do. For the love of... I seriously do not get guy stuff like this. Don't be so harsh, Estelle. I'm taking some time off once this is over. I intend to spend a lot of time at home once I can. Estelle, make sure we can all share some omelet rice then, alright? Yeah, you bet. Are you sure, Cassius? If you're worried, you could have gone with them, you know. No, it's fine. Weissman is even more dangerous than I thought he would be. If I accompanied them, I would simply be painting a target on their heads. Yes, if he were out in the open, he'd strike at your ankle like the snake he is. The price of fame, And it is maddeningly frustrating, let me tell you. Of course, this is also what gives us a chance to strike. A game of truth and lies, as the two of you try to read the other, eh? Speaking of lies, do you think that Blood and Iron Chancellor will really hold back? As powerful as he is, he can't gainsay an oath from Prince Oliver easily. As long as we don't give them any more of an opening, I think we'll be safe. I hope so. Everything rests on the team aboard the Arcel then. Yes. Lena, and great benevolent Adios of the sky, shine down where your children must walk, please, that beneath this enormous sky, they might find the path they seek. End of chapter 8. Oh, boy. Everything about me is tired right now. My voice is tired. I'm emotionally exhausted after all that. I've been looking forward to this episode for a long time. So obviously, as I've said in passing a few times over the course of the last game and this game, I came in through the series backwards like a lot of people did. Because, again, unfortunately, I didn't have any real-life or online friends that knew the Trails series. I didn't know too much about it when I started. And so, therefore, I didn't know to start with Trails in the Sky first chapter. I started with Trails of Cold Steel because, honestly, what led me to it was the fact that I was just looking for, well-regarded JRPGs to play on my PlayStation Vita at the time. So that's how I ended up starting with Cold Steel. In my time playing the first two games in that arc before coming back and playing through the games in order, fortunately I wasn't spoiled on too much in the series, but Cold Steel did hand me one spoiler for Trails in the Sky very early on, and that is the identity of Prince Olvert Rice Arner, our good friend Olivier. So you go through the course of first chapter and second chapter, and Ollie's kind of a question mark, because he has that one scene in first chapter that kind of paints him in a very sketchy light, but then you don't see him again for quite a while, so it's easy to forget about it. But then those issues kind of rear their head again in this game. You begin to realize that he's not just some traveling bard, and that he has some importance, and that he's hiding some sort of secret. That secret is that he's the firstborn son of the Erebonian imperial family. He is Prince Olivert. I mean it when I say I love him. He's a fantastic character, and so me being spoiled on who he was allowed me to never really fret what his secret was or whether or not he was trustworthy, because the Prince Olivert I knew is a good guy. He has a heart of gold, and he really does love his home. He loves the Empire, and everything he does is, from what I've seen so far through 7 games, everything he does is for the sake of making Erebonia a better place. I mean, he really is who he says at heart. Like, Olivier Lenheim is not just a fake persona, a mask. It very much is who he is deep down. So this whole deal that happens here at the border is very interesting because it's calling a lot of shots. It's not just the importance of what's happening in this game, but what's going to be happening in future games. Erebonia was up to no good when they marched those tanks over to the border. No good whatsoever. In order to have steam tanks ready to go, they obviously had to know that this was going to happen, which means that the Chancellor knew that that the city was going to appear, that Liberal was going to lose orbital power. Therefore, the Chancellor of Erebonia has had some sort of contact with the Society of Ouroboros. So we've yet to see his face. He was mentioned in passing in first chapter, that conversation where Olivert is talking with Mueller through that artifact on the ship. He says something to the effect of, "Don't let the Chancellor catch what you're doing." So even back then, Olivert and Mueller were planning what was going to happen right here today. But Olivert isn't a fan of the Blood and Iron Chancellor, Gileath Osborne. Osborne's a very important character in this series, and even though we haven't even seen his face, we've now seen just how smart and how dangerous he can be. What happened here was not very good, and it doesn't paint Erebonia or him in a very good light, unfortunately. So, through the first 5 games in the Trail series until you start the Erebonian arc, it's very interesting because Erebonia is just not depicted very favorably. It's depicted as very hostile and untrustworthy and a threat to peace on the continent of Zemuria. So, Olivert is our one olive branch there. No pun intended. And he's our one friend, and unfortunately we know that Erebonia is not just a villain in terms of like past tense, in terms of things that happened 10 years ago at the 100 Days War, but even now, the Empire is not very trustworthy, and sadly that pact that Queen Alicia had signed not long ago seems to be for naught. It seems to not be all that important, and maybe that's why, when I read that issue of Liberal News, maybe that's why Calvert and Erebonia didn't even bother to send their actual national leaders to that pact signing. Maybe that's symbolic of how worthless that signing really was. Anyway, that's all for now. I wanted to get all that out of the way and talk about Prince Olivert before we continued on to the next chapter. When we pick up next time, it is the start of the final chapter. No more familiar territory. No more of the towns that we've come to know and love. No more Bracer Quest. That's all done. We have gotten the maximum score. All that remains is the final chapter and the final dungeon areas on our way up to the dramatic climax of second chapter. See you guys then.